Tuesday, August 31st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Still in the desert-like air with a big spread between low and high temperatures here across our region. Pleasant at night, pretty hot with low humidity during the afternoon. And of course, really the big weather story that everybody is beginning to talk about is Hurricane Earl. I will spend a lot of time discussing Earl and really Fiona as well as we roll through this video. Let's start off with a look at what's happening across the lower 48. It's been some severe weather in the northern plains states overnight. Still lingering tornado watch in parts of Minnesota. Around our neck of the woods, though, it's been hot. It was in the low to mid-90s yesterday. I think a lot of mid-90s, even a few upper 90s today and tomorrow, but very low levels of humidity. Here's our dew point temperatures, and we're looking at low to mid-60s for dew points, and during the afternoon, those dew points mix out into the 50s. That translates into very low levels of humidity despite a big upper-level ridge sitting overhead. So it's hot, no doubt about it, but not very muggy at all. Look what happens this weekend. Behind Earl, a nice trough digs in for the Labor Day weekend, and that's going to mean a big-time cool down over the upcoming weekend. Today, though, like I mentioned, mid to upper 90s for highs, very low levels of humidity, a lot of sunshine, same deal tomorrow. Earl continuing to gradually approach, and it'll make its pass closest to the coast Thursday night. This is a look at Thursday in the middle part of the day, Earl getting closer, and then there's the NAM. Actually, this is the GFS still. Earl at 2 a.m. Friday, sweeping through its closest pass through the Outer Banks. The NAM pretty much in agreement. It's a little slower, but same general track idea. And then as we get into Friday, it's going to still be a hot day behind Earl. Highs well up into the 90s, still low humidity. But here comes the change. A big-time cold front sweeps through by Saturday morning. Very little in the way of rain chances with the front, but a big temperature change. We're talking 80s for highs there. Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day itself. Lows well down into the 60s, and I think a lot of Piedmont spots will be in the 50s for lows Sunday morning. It's possible that some of the mountain spots could see some 40s for lows later this Labor Day weekend. So certainly a big change to some cooler air, albeit not a long change. We'll be back to some warmth again later next week, but nice cool down for the Labor Day weekend. All right, let's discuss the tropics. There's Earl. Earl is a powerhouse hurricane, Category 4 at the time I'm cutting this video. The pressure down at 931 millibars. And the winds at 135 miles per hour. But Earl is beginning what's called an eye wall replacement cycle. And that's essentially where a new eye forms around the existing eye, and that new eye will gradually take over. Now, during that time, hurricanes are susceptible to some weakening, not only just due to the eye wall replacement cycle, but they're more susceptible to some dry air intrusion or any shear. But I think Earl will probably be able to fight that off today, and so Earl should stay pretty powerful. There's the National Hurricane Center track. Earl will make a very close pass to the Outer Banks Thursday night. Behind Earl is Fiona. Fiona looking terrible this morning, but there's the general track idea on Fiona. I'll discuss what's likely going to happen here, at least the possibilities of what will happen. All right, let's go to the Canadian model. The Canadian is one of those models that Earl simply absorbs Fiona. That is a possibility. Let's go out to the European. See if I can illustrate this for you. There's Earl. There's Fiona. Fiona looking very weak on this run of the European. GFDL. There's Earl. By the way, I wanted to show you this. Earl, it takes Earl all the way down to 918 millibars for a pressure. So GFDL is the one model that shows some strengthening today, and that's possible if it could complete that eye wall replacement cycle. And then there's its closest pass to the Outer Banks, and the Hurricane Wharf. There's its closest pass to the Outer Banks. Finally, the no gaps. Well, let me discuss Earl first, then I'll show you the no gaps. Earl, again, will pass very close to the Outer Banks Thursday night into Friday morning. Exactly how far west it tracks will determine how much rain and wind the coast sees. I do think that they'll see some, but how significant remains a question mark. But all up and down the eastern seaboard, big-time problems with surf and rip currents will be occurring all week long. The rain and wind issue is still the question mark. And remember, hurricane updates for you in our tropical updates on News 14 Carolina, 21 minutes and 51 minutes past every hour. And finally, let's go back to the no gaps here. I wanted to show you this, as it's showing the same scenario the European showed yesterday with Earl and Fiona. Earl pulls up the coast, but it leaves Fiona behind, and then later after this time frame, a ridge builds overhead, and that actually winds up shoving Fiona west toward the coast. That's a possibility. It's also a possibility that Fiona simply gets absorbed by Earl over the next several days, so we will see. Lots of question marks with Fiona. Okay, that's it for this Tuesday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.